Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Premium Booster Box Marvel, which comes out on September 19th, 2025. Pre-orders available until June 6th, 2025. But don't get your hopes up because this is only available in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Hong Kong. That was the same way with the booster box and the trial deck that first came out. But if you look around the internet, you can find some stores in the United States actually selling this. There is a way, and possibly if you want this one, same exact way to actually do it. This one is very interesting, and why I want to talk about this today because I was totally not going to do it. I had to think about this for a couple days because what happened with this set was they are making upgrades to the English version. You think back to all the English versions that we've had just very recently, where we're getting no AGRs, we're getting SIRs instead. They're taking away signatures. Think Veroni Kenshin. And this time around, for whatever reason, they are adding more things to it, which pretty much screams to me the fact that they're are a little disappointed in the sales. And that's just a guess. I don't know for sure. I don't work for Bushy Road. This is just a dude on the internet just making some random guesses. Now, if you go over here, what's interesting, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to apologize right now that as I zoom in and out, I'm going to have to look at the English and the JP just to show you what's happening. And I'm going to have to adjust my screens back and forth. But I want you to see the words on the screen. So in the English version, total 102 types, 30 types of normal, 72 types of parallel. Right down here, 30 normal cards, one of each type, one parallel pack, 6 of 72 types of hot stamp, and card sleeve, 15 pieces. What does that actually all mean? They don't break out the parallels and all that. So I'm just going to flip over here to the JP side, and it's kind of tiny on the screen. So again, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to scroll all the way down here for you. What we have inside of this is 30 normal types. They also have 30 IFP, which is infinity parallel, and 30 SPs. What that really actually looked like was this. Let me just scroll all the way back up here just to show you all the different images. Okay, so one of the reasons why I hated this set was the fact that you had normals, you had IFPs and SPs, and they used all the exact same art. And there's a reason for this. It's because they're using the poster and key visuals from these different movies, series, whatever you want to call them. You can see that. So on the normal version, no foiling. On the IFP version, what you will see is gold and then around the borders. And then what you have with the SP is these rainbow foiling that's happening on here, okay? And then you also have this stamp, which is, it's nice, a little bit of an addition, but my thing is over and over again, I see the same sort of art. Okay, now going back down here, one of the reasons why people actually hated this set outside of reusing the same art is because inside of a display, a premium booster box, you got 6 packs. Inside of those 6 packs were 2 cards, one normal and one parallel. So that entire box had 12 cards in it. I know that was took away from the opening experience. You pay all this money, you only got 12 cards. You only got 6 packs. It was just not very fun at all. So what happening over here on the English side? Well, in order to see what's actually happening here, let me just scroll down. You have 30 type of normal cards. 30 normal cards. It doesn't say you get one of each, but let's just assume one of each. It only makes sense to do it that way. You have one parallel pack. As mentioned before, it was 6 of the 72 stamps and 15 card sleeves per display. When I was reading that, I was like, this is crazy to me. And I was like, that can't mean what it actually means. And it actually does because down below it says 30 displays per carton. Yeah, per display, 30 displays per card, which means every booster box, premium booster box, will have 30 normal cards. So it should be one of each. You get one parallel pack, which matches, right? Like when you open the 6 packs over on the JP side, you would have ended up with 6 parallels. So inside of this parallel pack is 6 parallels. And then they also threw sleeves inside. They are giving you more stuff. But that's not just all. It's because with the English edition, they are also including potentially you have a chance at the exclusive SEC Plus cards. Yeah, because, you know, in order to complete a collection, if there's an English exclusive SEC Plus. Maybe some buyers from the JP side will actually pick this up. Yeah, so just take a look over here. This is always amazing. I actually like this card right here. So if you're wondering what the difference between all the different cards and the SEC Plus is, well, it has everything to do with the foiling. So just going back all the way up here. So just showing you before, we have gold borders on the IFP. On the SP, you have the rainbow foiling and the stamp. So what do we got to do on here is with the SEC Plus, we're going to change that rainbow foiling. We're going to take that off. We're going to add the gold border back in, and we're going to give you the stamp. That is what is happening here. Yes, that is the difference. It is, I will say right away, just so you can see, just full disclosure out here. I made 2 different videos on here, and I said the new Marvel cards look amazing. And I will say that right here. Let me just zoom in just so you can see it better. I actually like these. The arts look really nice. It's just it does. It's the poster arts, key visuals. You're gonna get the best looking arts for these cards. Why I didn't buy it is because they're the same card. So I had 2 different videos. I got this and this. And that's more on the investment side, because if you got the same art over and over and over again, of course people are going to be able to buy whatever fits their budget, and that kills demand. You don't need to go and buy some crazy expensive card when you could just get the lower rarity. That's what actually ended up happening, especially with how many people decided they wanted to open this. So it was a little bit sad. You can see what's happening on the English side. They're trying to give you a better experience. They're trying to give you potentially all of the normal cards. They're giving you sleeves, and they're giving you a parallel pack. It feels good, right? You think about those people talking about opening a god pack on Pokemon or any of these other card games. How does that make you feel just to open a pack full of just foils, 6 foils inside of there, with the possibility of the SP or the SEC Plus? It's going to be feeling way better than what happened with the Japanese release. And also, this is almost like a guaranteed sale, because if you wanted just all of the different arts, all you got to do is buy 1 premium booster box. That's all you got to do. And like I said earlier, for anybody that wanted to fill their collection out by getting these SEC Plus, that's another way to draw more people in. So I think this has everything to do with potentially the lack of demand when it came to the first set. I mean, the whole problem was the fact that it was locked out, that you can only sell it in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Hong Kong, unless you have a store that bought it from somewhere and is selling it in the United States right now. Yeah, that's the thing. So when you take a look at the actual prices, you're going to be wondering, how much is this going to be? Well, a lot of people opened it. And of course, what I mentioned before about the arts, they're really bad. See, these are the SP versions up here. This is Yuyute, and as you can see with the blue buttons, some are definitely still in stock. And you do have expensive cards. You have this I Am Iron Man, 24,800 yen. You also have Avengers Assembled, 29,800. But then when I go down here to all these different cards, you can see they're not expensive at all. You have Avengers Assemble in the IFP rarity, 680, and then you also have the normal version, 320. So this is what I mean by filling in the budget. If you can only afford the normal, you'd buy it at 320. You like the art. If you wanted a little bit more foil on it, you could pay 680. And then if you wanted to go the high-end version, 29,800. And lastly, if you wanted to just fill out your collection or get the coolest card available, you could go over here and buy the SEC Plus English exclusive edition. There it is. We're in the end game, people. That's what they're talking about. So that's it for Marvel. This is very interesting. Again, it blows my mind just for the fact that we've gotten things taken away. This is limited to 5 countries, and yet this actually got upgraded where we are not getting any sort of the stuff. This also reminds me of all the different products. If you're wondering if this was tried before, anyway, Trial Deck plus a Bang Dream My Go. What they did was they gave you your normal trial deck. There's exclusive or rare cards inside of it, but you also had a 2-card PR pack. Yeah, they threw that in, and some of these cards are pretty expensive. And then you also have this Hololive Weiss Schwarz Ambassador set, same idea. You got all the same cards in there, except you got 2 random ER cards out of 17. It also reminds me of a supply set just because you get the sleeves, or a Meister set, which I do love. Yes, you have the special PR pack inside of here. No sleeves in this one though. And then lastly, surprise set Data Bullet, which had some sleeves, but no, giant amount of cards. They did have a PR card inside here. So what I'm showing you with all this is why Schwarz is still evolving. They're trying to think of other things to entice people to buy. This one's pretty interesting in this way because this is unique with the whole 5 country limitation. Unless you buy it from some other place that somehow got this outside of the 5 countries. I say that repeatedly because I hope you catch my drift if you actually want this product. But I still think it's really interesting what's actually happening here and kind of just screams to the fact of how Marvel is doing in Weiss Schwarz English at this point. But do let me know your comments down below. As always, have fun, be happy, and don't spend anything outside of your budget. Have a good one.